given at your high school, or you can buy a book, Princeton Review or one of those other books, and study, preferably with one or two other students. Study for those exams, for the SATs. When you take the exam, don't brood too long over different questions or you won't be able to finish the exam. The idea is to make sure that you get to all the questions that you know the answer to. If you have to guess, don't, unless there's just a choice between two answers, because they take off for wrong answers. They take off more for wrong answers than if you leave it blank. So I'm not saying don't ever guess, but if it's between three choices, don't guess. Only if it's between two. And do the examples that you know. Also, if the answer is something negative, like crooks get ahead, that will never be an answer. They don't want you to answer anything like that. It might be, they have a reading paragraph, and the interpretations will never be a negative thing. So I don't believe that SATs have anything to do with how smart you are, but some of the colleges do. So you have to do that.
Just one thing.
Yes.
Later in the year, we're going to have someone amongst us who's going through a program who's at Stanford, who's just graduated Stanford, and is going to give you some preparations and coaching on how to, take classes that, the reps and move ahead.
And Stanford is one of those colleges that if you get in, they'll pay for whatever need you have. It's very, very good that way. Also, I don't think it cares that much about whether you're documented.
That's right. Yeah.
Right, whereas some other colleges do. Some of the students who did research who got into Oberlin didn't have to pay. Dickinson didn't have to pay, as well, of course, as the Ivy Leagues. But suppose for some reason you don't get into one of those colleges that have a lot of money. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. You can start off in a community college like John Jay, and then finish off with a 4-year degree, and then your degree will say Wayman or City College or Brooklyn or Queens or Stony Brook, whatever. That's what your bachelor's degree will say. It's not where you start. It's where you finish. Also, the most competitive schools are most competitive. And if you want to go to medical school, sometimes it's a good thing to have good grades, and it's easier to get good grades if you go to a college that's not so competitive. So I'm not saying if you get into Harvard, don't go, but I am saying don't worry about it. It's not going to change your life. You can do perfectly well. Paolo, for example, who Dr. Zack talked about, he went to Rutgers, the state university, and got into medical. In fact, he got into medical school and a research fellowship for the PhD. So he's both an MD and a PhD, and he went to the state university. So you have plenty of good state universities. You've got city colleges. Lots of Nobel Prize winners went to City College, Brooklyn College, and so on. So you have lots of choices. The state universities are another good choice. Buffalo, Stony Brook, Binghamton, also very good. So when you are applying to colleges, make sure you apply to a college that you can afford, no matter what. That doesn't mean you have to go there, but you should apply there so you have a fallback position. Some of the colleges that really recruit, like Penn State, I don't think is a good idea. They're recruiting because they don't have enough students who really want to go there outside of the state. If you go to a state college, go to one in your state because you get a break in tuition. You might also get a break to go to a college in your state. Even if it's not a state college. If you're doing research, wherever you're doing research at a college, do apply there. It's not polite not to apply there. You don't have to go there, but you should apply there. And they'll give you a break, I'm sure. Your guidance counselors can be very helpful, usually. But if they're not helpful, don't let it bother you. Go to another counselor, go to a head counselor, bring in a mother, a father, an uncle, or somebody when you want them to do something. Another thing that we have learned from sad experience is just because you apply somewhere for a scholarship or somewhere doesn't mean it's been received. The important thing is not whether you apply, but whether it's been received. So you have to check and make sure. Did they send in your transcript? Did the professor send in the recommendation, etc.? You call the college or give them a postcard or email, whatever. Make sure that they have your application, and you have to do that before the last minute. It also means that you should keep a copy of what you do, especially a copy of your essay, if you have to do an essay. And make sure if your English isn't terribly good, or even if it is rather good, you can always make a typo. Have somebody check whose English is good, your essay. It's always easier to read somebody else's and catch their mistakes, even if it's just a friend of yours whose English is good. But have somebody check your essay. And once you have one good essay, you can usually use it for a lot of different colleges, maybe just change it a little bit. I'm talking from some sad experiences that people have had, and that is that their hard work doing research all of a sudden disappeared in the web. There was a virus or something. So always back up, put it on a flash drive, or make a hard copy so you can always get it in again. Otherwise, it's too much work. And the same goes for phone numbers. I don't know how often somebody said, I would have called my mentor, but I lost their phone number. Or my phone got lost or stolen or something. So make a copy of everything important. And that way, no matter what happens, you have a backup. You're not going to be stuck. Some colleges have very early deadlines in December, so make sure you apply early enough. Many of them don't, but those that do, you'll have to apply early. Let's see. Okay. Now you can network, of course, not just with your professor, but with other graduate students, with other people working with you. A wide network is always useful. I know somebody who got a job 4 years after they did their research because of their network with their professor. When you want a letter of recommendation, make it easier for the professor by giving them a resume or a list of your accomplishments, including what good grades you have. You can also give them a stamped envelope with the address where it should go or the email address. Also, don't wait for the last minute. You should have at least a week. They should have at least a week. And when the main professor or boss's words carry the most weight, sometimes they're not there. They went to China or somewhere, and you can't be reached. So contact the graduate student, the postdoc, other people. You can always get a good letter of recommendation because you're all going to do a good job. If you don't know what to do, think about what would be the next step and suggest it. If you can't think of a next step, that's all right. Ask them, what should I do next? I finished this. Show that you're eager. If there doesn't seem to be anything right at that moment, say, what can I do to help you? That's the whole point. You will learn something from question?
I just want to make a comment. As somebody who gets asked to write letters of recommendation
Oh, yes,
for
good.
students who go to graduate school, but it's the same principle. You can't turn up 2-3 years later after you took the teacher or the professor and ask for a letter. You don't know who you are. I would just write some generic letter that will end up hurting you because they'll realize you really don't know this person. So you have to cultivate a relationship with the people who you want to write a letter with. Back to ethical kissing up. There are a whole heap of people whose names start with S and R and V's. We do not remember you. So cultivate the relationships, volunteer to help, come and talk to professors so that when the time comes, we can write a letter that says, we know this person. The counselors are very good. The admissions counselors are very good at reading. They really don't know. It's, oh, came to class, was pleasant, punctual. That's not good to you.
What good advice? And don't only go to the professor or somebody after you've left when you want something. Don't only go when you want something. Go and just talk and ask them, how's the research going? Keep up the relationship. It's much better to keep it up rather than to just go with them when you want something.
But one more thing too, this is extremely important, not just for students. You are going to need your mentors, everyone who comes across in your life, all throughout your life. When you are 15-year-old like you, or 16 or 17 or 18, or when you are 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. There'll be always older people, and when you become old, there'll be younger people. You'll need references. I would need references from you when I become very old. You will always need references from me. So this is the cultivation of relationship. This is extremely important. This network has to be developed like a room, like a family. And this is how things evolve, and as science progresses, you do collaborations. Many of us come from so many schools, and this becomes extremely important. And various schools, you come from all these different schools, all within the city, but also you're going to the different schools. And always keep in touch. We have a whole network. We established Facebook and all these other things, LinkedIn and things like that. But always keep that network alive with the mentors as well who have always helped you. And just as she pointed out, don't call anyone only when you need it. It doesn't look good. They will always figure, the person needs a reference, and that's why they're calling. And they will delete that. So,
okay, when you're in college, you keep your GPA above 3 or 3.5 if you're headed for medical school. And one way to do that is to ask for help early if you need it. Don't wait until you're in trouble. Also, study with other students. My best grades I got when I studied with a friend of mine and the two of us. Because one knows one knows something else, and it helps. You encourage each other, and you learn from each other. So even though you were all good in high school, don't assume it will work that way in college. Study with the group. If forever something, it can happen, that you might be headed for a D or an F. Drop the course in time and then retake it. Try not to have a D or an F on your transcript. The American Chemical Society has scholarships that there is no financial, you can get a scholarship. The amount depends on whether you have financial need, but if you are going to major in chemistry, you can apply when you go to college, after 1 year, after 2 years, as long as you're taking chemistry courses. You can be a chemical engineer, biochemistry.org/scholar. There's also Fast Web. The Fast Web is another website where you can find out about scholarships. But I would not spend too much time looking for scholarships. Generally, if you're going to get get a scholarship, you will apply to a few scholarships, and then you will get them. The only scholarship that is, I would definitely apply for if you have good grades, is the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship. That provides 10 years of education. So that's through the PhD. And I know Ms. McCarr has had students who have gotten that 10-year Bill Gates scholarship. You have to major in a science, a technical field. You can't major in history or philosophy. The other advantage to majoring in a science is graduate school is free. It's not free to medical school because they figure you're going to make the money up later. But it is for law school. But if you're going to major in chemistry or a lot of the computer sciences or physics, any of those STEM fields, you get a free education in graduate school. All you have to do is teach some undergraduates a little bit, which is also helpful, helps you learn anyway. You don't make a whole lot of money, but you make $20,000, $25,000 plus free tuition. All you have to do is major in a STEM field, and you get free graduate education, which is another reason for the STEM field. Now, when you're in college, whatever your major is, there are three things you should be sure to learn. One is how to write English, how to do a good job of writing. No matter what you do, you always have to write it up. And so you should concentrate on those courses that help you write when you're in college. You also have to be computer literate. Most of you are. But if you're not, make a point of doing that. And the third thing, and you'll learn some of that here, is how to talk, how to give a speech. You'll be doing that all your life. And so see if you can learn about that. You can always also join Toastmasters, whatever. But learn how to speak. Do not be afraid of speaking. I think that's major things that I wanted to say. Any questions? Yes.
Why should they go away?
Pardon me?
Why should they go away to college as against staying home?
They don't have to. It depends. Now, I wanted to get away. I was bound and going to go away, and I did. Which reminds me, Cornell is a private college, but there's also a public college. The School of Agriculture and the school, there is a public college associated with Cornell, and you can apply there. It's a state college just the way Buffalo is. I think it's agriculture or home economics, but you can major in biochemistry there. Now my husband did not want to go away, and he stayed home, and that was best for him. He was rather shy, and that was good for him. So whether you go away or whether you don't go away, I mean, you do get more independence, and so if you go away, but it's not for everybody. If money is a big problem, if you don't have a green card, I would certainly not go away unless you get a full scholarship. So it's not one size fits all. But you certainly can go to a state college and go away. Buffalo is sure far away. I don't know, did that sort of answer your question?
Yeah.
There was another question.
I think it's sometimes for many of us, it's important to go away because we, and some of us have these challenges at home. I've come across this many times, and I get this all the time. Many of the young ladies and young men who want to be a little independent. Independence can be a double-edged sword. So, and you have to test that. Whenever you go away, always be careful when you go to the different campuses. Because I've also seen some of our own students who run their own programs. excellent students who've done well with us. They go to college, and then it's party time. So, so being very careful. It's very easy to get into all of that stuff. Going away has independence, and this will help you grow, and it will help you grow faster. But you should know what to do with your life. Cultivate good friendships over there, but maintain good friendships. And I know over here as well, maintain all these. That's what we try to spread you out so that you get to know not only friends from your school, but also from other schools, also from other cultures, and from different parts of the city.
Don't hang out with people who start the weekend on Thursday. I saw one other question. Yes, in the back there.
Me?
Yes.
You said before, if you know you're going to get a bad grade in the class, you should drop the class. But wouldn't it be visible that you dropped the class and that would be worse than accepting a bad grade?
I don't know, but it's better that you drop the class than have you a D or an F. Yes.
Do you think essays will weight or like SAT scores?
They both count. And that there's, I mean, you should put time in your essay. And you should study for the SAT. But some people who are very smart, for some reason, maybe it's a language problem, they didn't grow up with English in their family, and that is a problem for some people. The SAT scores are not going to get all that good. So it's better if they're good, but it's not necessary. Pardon me? Good point. I'm glad you brought that up. There's an educational opportunity program or educational opportunity fund where you start college in the summer after you've been admitted, and that's a good thing. You get a lot of help from the college for that. If you qualify for that, take it. Ms. McCarr, you found out that was useful for a lot of students, wasn't it?
I always tell my students when they apply, and now they have the enrollment application, always to check some schools call it EOP and other schools call it EOF. Always check it. Let them say no. Because you don't know. Sometimes maybe your parents are not very poor, but you have other siblings going to college and they take this into account. Also, a very good way of getting a scholarship is to apply for the honor program at that school. Every college has an honor program, and it comes with a lot of perks. They give you more money, they give you, of course, they look at your application, they look at your transcript, and if they see honor classes, they see AP courses, then they will admit you. Yes?
I just want to let you know that CUNY has an honors program. Tuition, computers, grants, college. It's quite a nice program. My campus has one too, and I know the director. So.
Wonderful. Also,
Every school has. Also, if you want to get free education as in medical school, you can apply for MD PhD. Not only you get free education, free tuition, but also they pay you a stipend. That's the only way you can get free education in medical school, is to go MD PhD. And I have some of my students who have done it, and some of them got married while they were students because they were getting a stipend. So.
another, I'm glad you brought that up because that brings up another thing. There are 7-year programs you can apply to that you get college and you are admitted to medical school as long as you have a B average. And then you don't have to worry about those dreaded
Guys.
But, no, I'm not saying you have to kind of be average in high school. No. What I'm saying is, once you are in college, they don't throw you out if you keep a B average. That's my point.
It's not easy to get into.
It's not very easy to get in, but if you get in, it's a wonderful thing because you are definitely in medical school. Is there a hand in the back?
Yeah, I was asking, is that the Sophie Davis program?
Pardon me?
Is that the Sophie Davis program? Are you talking about?
Oh, yes, that's right. They have one right in New York.
In fact, you should, many of our students from our program here go to the Sophie Davis program. There's so many students who are in MBA. At this stage, there's several.
I was hoping to bring two of my friends from the Sophie Davis program to come and give a speech probably next week. So I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If you get in, it's wonderful. Don't worry if you don't get in. You are all going to be winners. I know it. Any other questions?
Can I add something?
Here's the
Apply early to college because most colleges accept the majority of their students, about 90%, and this I heard from admission officers. They take them from early admission. Why? Because if you apply early admission, they know you want to go there. So they give you preference. If you wait until the regular admission, you are not going to get the scholarships, you are not going to get, so if you know this is the school that you want to go to, apply early. It gives you an advantage over the other students who apply later.